Okay, in this video tutorial, I'm going to go over using a free online editor to create or um, customize these banners. Okay, so you don't need Photoshop. If you go to pixlr.com/editor then you're going to be presented with this screen. And the first thing we're going to want to do is open the image from our computer. Now, you can open Photoshop files in Pixlr. And what I'm going to do is go to Banners and then set number 1. And I'm just going to go ahead and open this 300 by 250 Photoshop file because I'm going to basically replicate this banner in Pixlr. I'm only opening this to use as a reference. Okay, so now I'm going to go Control O or File Open, Control O, and I'm going to go to Blank JPEG Banners, and I'm going to go to Blank Banners with Buttons, and I'm going to pick the 300 by 250 here. And a couple things you'll notice straight away in Pixlr, as well as softwares like GIMP, they don't recognize Photoshop layers. So the reason why you see this yellowish gradient color is because this is a flattened JPEG image. And you also see a border around the button, kind of a very light pink border. Whereas here, you don't see the yellow, you don't see the border, you don't see the gradient of the button. And again, Pixlr nor GIMP can recognize, unless you flatten the image in Photoshop, they don't recognize Photoshop layers. Anyway, just thought I'd point that out. So what I'm going to do is create this text. The reason why I'm just going to recreate the banner is just to show you the process of taking the blank JPEG with or without the button and adding your text to make the banner unique for your purposes. Okay, so it's really just for a demo to show you how the overall process works. So first I'm going to type in get in shape, and I know that this font is called Chunk 5, so I'm going to look for that. You should have downloaded all of the fonts and added them to your system. Hopefully you've done that. If not, please do so. Let's see, where is it? Chunk 5. Okay. And I'm not sure what size font that is, but I'm just going to drag this. I'll go with, I think, let's try 33 pixels. Or points. And to get that same color font, I just click this box here. The color dialog appears, but this nice little eyedropper allows you to select the color of the So this could be a screenshot of your site or your client site, and you need to get a color to match something on their site. That's the same concept. Okay, click OK. Click OK. I'm going to go to the Move tool, and I'm just going to move this here, get it into more or less the same area. Again, it's not critical. It's more just to show you how this can be done. And then for summer. Now I know that font is called Daniel, so I'm just going to look for Daniel. There we go. And I'm going to bold that and shrink that down to maybe 24 pixels is my guess. Again, pick the color box and see if I can select that dark burgundy-ish color. I'm going to copy that because I'm going to need that color later. So I'll click OK. I'll click OK and just go to a notepad file real quick and paste that in. All right. Go back to the Move tool and just kind of kind of shift it in place. Now we've got add more info about, okay, so I'm going to type add more info about the great deal you have on offer. Okay, now again, this is a very similar font to Myriad Pro, which is not a commercial free font. So I've found one that is very similar called Vigor. And I'm going to go with, I don't know, maybe 14 pixels, maybe 15 points. I keep saying pixels. I'm not sure if it really matters. And this color, it's going to be hard to pick that color from that little eyedropper tool. So I'm going to pick the color from this button. So move this out of the way so you can see, and go with like maybe a slightly darkish pink color. Okay, that looks fine. You can see it's coming along great. It looks almost identical. Now I'm going to type click here, maybe give it an exclamation point. I'm going to bold that, and I'm going to make that maybe 22 pixels. And I'm going to make that white. Now in order to do that, you can either type FFF, okay, 6 times, or this started here. You can grab this inner ring and just slide it to the very top of that corner. Click OK, click OK. Again, go back to the Move tool, or you can click the V for victory on your keyboard. Now, once you slide this over with the Move tool on your mouse, if it can get finicky, so you can just use your arrow keys to to where you feel like it slides in, you know, it positions it, it's in a good position. I guess what I'm trying to say. Okay, the last thing is first month free. Now, as you notice, this first month free text is at a slight angle. I'm not sure if that's 10 degrees or whatever it is. Um, so first thing I'm going to do is type in, first month free, and I'm going to probably go with 14 points, make it bold. Okay, and the color, if you remember, I saved that hexadecimal color in a notepad file. So I'm going to click this here and paste it in there. Control V, click OK, click OK. Now in order to get the font, it might even go, it's important that you get the font, the color, the font itself, the text where you want it to be, because in order to rotate this text, you're going to have to do something called rasterizing the text. And for lack of a better explanation, it's basically going from it's taking the text from being editable, such as now where I can type in stuff, to non-editable, as if it's like a graphic image. Okay, so I'm going to right-click the layer and click Rasterize Layer. It says Rasterize Layer. Now I can go to Edit, and I can do Free Transform or Control T. You can see these blue boxes, and I can kind of rotate that text, kind of place it where I like to, where I think it looks good. Hit the Enter key, and then if again you can just use your arrows on your keyboard. I might even, if I want to get real anal, just rotate it a little bit more that way. Whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. And now I'm not sure if by rotating it constantly like that, it's going to start to, it looks a little bit blurry. So just be aware that if you're rotating the text, I'm not sure how good the quality, but I can still read. It says first month free. Okay, so there you go. I mean, that banner's ready to go and be saved and uploaded to your blog or your website. And there are two things left I want to emphasize. One is to create the JPEG of this 300 by 250 banner so that you can upload it to your site. And what you can do is do Control S or File Save. And you can either leave it at the default 80. I look at this as almost like this is 80 out of 100 quality. So it's not 100%, the top quality JPEG you can have, but right now it's only 25 kilobytes, which is a pretty good size for that size banner. If you push it to 90, you're going up to 36 kilobytes, which is only another 11 kilobytes or so. If you push it up to 100, it all of a sudden jumps to 94 kilobytes. So that's getting to be a pretty big, heavy graphic size, if you will. So I like to keep it between 80 and 90, all right, because I want the highest quality possible, but I don't want to have a really heavy image, so to speak. So I'm going to go with 90, click OK. And you can just save this image somewhere like where the rest of your banners are, or create a new folder. But I wouldn't save it in the same, well, you could save it in the same banner set one, but you might want to separate them. It's just an idea. So I would probably call this diet banner and then 300 by 250. So I like to know what the banner is about and the size of the banner. That's what I recommend. Okay, so we'll click Save. So now we've got a nice JPEG saved on our hard drive. And the second thing is you want to save again, but this time instead of going for JPEG, you want to save as a layered Pixlr image. The reason why you want to do that is you can save all of your layers. So you can go back at a later date if you want to change any of the text, or change the instead of click here, buy now, something like that, and you won't lose all your layers and have to start from scratch. Okay, so we'll just we can again we can call it diet banner 300 by 250 and click OK, and it's going to save a .pxd file. Okay, so then if we go to our folder, we can see we've got the 300 by 250 JPEG. That's the one we created in Pixlr. And we've got the PXD file that we can always reference at another time, that is the layered file. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful. I've got another video on using Pixlr. Check that one out if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.